Okay, you're gonna have to excuse the background noise. We've got the car going because I need the aircon going because it is 33 degrees, 80% humidity, and I'm really missing the New Zealand weather. I'm not gonna lie. So I was actually I wasn't gonna make any videos during the first few days because I've done it before. I've done it many times before, but I did just check the YouTube comments not too long ago. Just a couple, literally just three, the top three that came up. I'm not terribly prepared. I'm actually extremely nervous right now. I'm shaking like a leaf, and I guess that's to be expected. I don't think I've had these symptoms this bad before, but this is a progressive disease and it only gets worse. And to be honest, I hadn't drunk any less than 25 standard drinks a day, every day, since I had a week off about a month and a half ago. So call it a month and a half of drinking, between 700, 800, 900 mils of 40% whiskey every single day. That's where I'm at the moment, physically and mentally. But today is day 2. And as you heard in the previous video, I've assembled some help pharmaceutically and emotionally, and that comes in the form of an antidepressant called Venlafaxine, a drug that curbs cravings called Acamprosate, some Thiamine for brain function, which I should have been taking the last time I got sober, but I never did. Because I never got any professional help. We've got Diazepam, which is going to be prescribed to me through the first 4 to 5 days. And we have the ATOD's alcohol, tobacco and other drugs services locally here in Townsville, who I will be working with closely once I receive a case manager. And a case manager is only assigned after you've gone through a detox. Now, because I didn't want to wait the 4 to 6 weeks to do a detox through them, I went the other way. I decided to do it myself, as I always do. I didn't want to wait another 6 weeks. I mean, they recommended that I reduce the alcohol intake until I had a spot to do the detox, and that didn't sit with me. I'm ready now. I want to do it now. I need to crack on with life. I need to start becoming a role model to my children. I need to start, hopefully, with the help of the Venlafaxine, enjoying life again, sober. Genuinely, having a laugh, enjoying life, because it's been so very, 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 very long. It's been years since I've been able to say that genuinely. And if I can go to sleep one night, not having had any alcohol, and actually say, shit, that was a good day, shit, I had some good conversations, I laughed, I made a joke, I didn't feel terribly anxious, socially anxious. If I can say that one day into the future, that's like a dream. That's a dream to me. And it was never going to happen if I was going to continue drinking alcohol like the way I did. So basically, what happened yesterday, I got my prescription for Diazepam, 5 milligram tablets. I was meant to take 4 throughout the day. It was my children's first day back at school for the year, and all I wanted to do was lay in bed and feel sorry for myself because I'd drunk 25 standard drinks the day before. And I'd got to sleep a bit later than normal. So I'd gotten about 6 hours sleep. The kids were up. I wasn't. It's their first day at school. I desperately wanted to stay in bed, but I couldn't. You can't when you've got responsibilities. When you've got kids, you can't do that. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. So I got up with an absolutely horrendous hangover, and went with them to school, said goodbye, came home, and began taking my medication. So it was the Acamprosate, which is 3 times a day. It was Thiamine. I took 3 100mg tablets. It was the Venlafaxine. I got back on that, took my antidepressant, and my first 5mg dose of Diazepam, and said, let's do this. It's time. Let's fucking do this. As soon as I took that tablet of Diazepam, I knew that I'm not going to be drinking today. I can't drink today. And I actually began eating, because eating is something that I don't do until I've finished drinking. And there's a lot of us out there that do that. And sadly, that has meant that even if I'm fucking starving at like midday or 3 o'clock or what have you, if I'm still drinking and I haven't finished drinking for the day, I feel like I'm looking at this amazing food and I feel like I can't eat it. And it's super frustrating. So one good thing yesterday was that I was freely able to eat. And I did eat. And I ate quite a lot. But what I did find with the Diazepam is that I was not euphoric or anything like that by any means. I was just relaxed, and believe it or not, the real symptoms of the hangover, especially mentally, the anxiety, that type of thing, they started to dissipate a lot earlier than what they probably normally would. And the only way that I'd be able to have that effect is through drinking another drink. And this time I didn't have that. I had the medication to just curb the anxiety. That's what it does. It curbs anxiety. It's a relaxant, a physical relaxant from my understanding, and it brings that nervous system down slightly. So people use Valium, which I'm pretty sure that a common name for it is. I'm sure people use it for sleep. I used it throughout the day just to bring that nervousness and the constant thoughts of where my next drink's going to come from down. And for the most part, I still considered drinking, but I knew that I couldn't, because this is it. I'm taking this seriously, and it's a serious matter. And I haven't taken it seriously in the past. And one thing I'm not afraid of doing moving into the future is counting days and being proud of how many days I'm sober. Because in the past, especially the last time I got sober, I sort of got sick of it, and I thought, I don't know, I started getting complacent. I thought I had this, and clearly I didn't. I wasn't taking antidepressants to battle my depression. I wasn't taking thiamine to get my brain back on board as soon as possible. I was just training in the gym, working, and hoping that removing alcohol was going to fix all my problems, and it didn't. So today's day 2. I've just taken my first dose of Diazepam about 5 minutes ago. Jumped in the car, thought I should make this video, because even in the first couple of comments that I saw on my channel, they requested some updates, some daily updates, and that's what I'm giving you. So certainly not out of the, fuck man, I think there's been videos in the past during the first week that I've thought, yeah, I'm exercising again, yeah, I'm eating right again, yeah, I've got this, I've got this. But obviously that's not the truth, bro. It's not, simply not. I'm taking this way more seriously this time, because it only gets worse, and I cannot, and I do not ever want to wake up with a roaring hangover like I did yesterday. That was absolutely fucked. I had to get up, I had to act normal, I had to fake it, I had to smile. When I got to their school, I was feeling like absolute shit. But this morning, I feel just that little bit better, although I am very shaky and very anxious. And I had to go to the doctor this morning at 9 o'clock, and I could not control it. I couldn't control it, whether it was the fact that I had to go to the doctor again and explain again, because I couldn't see that same doctor until 3:30 this afternoon, and I didn't want to leave it that long, so I went for the first available appointment at 9 o'clock, got in there, saw the doctor. There are notes, thankfully, so, you know, it's not as if I have to explain everything, but I feel guilty. I feel guilty getting medication, but it's like I'm after any help I can get, and that is a specific alcohol withdrawal medication. You go into a medically supervised alcohol detox, they're going to be giving you diazepam regularly throughout the day. I'm doing it at home, and one difference that my approach this time has, and this was necessary, is not to load myself up with all these things that I want to do during the first few days. Not to say you have to go to the gym, not to say you have to go for a run, not to say I have to make a video, not to say I have to go to work. This first week, these first few days, is all about getting through it, relaxing, trying to emulate the environment I'd be in an actual medical detox. It's relaxing, there are no expectations, really. You do what you have to do, as long as you don't use, and hopefully you'll be made more comfortable, slightly more comfortable, through the medication. And that is what happened yesterday. I watched crime documentaries, I dropped my kids off to school, and I went and picked them up. I didn't drive, Miffy drove, but I was there, and they probably wouldn't even they have no idea what's going on. I think they definitely notice me drinking all the time, but if I'm not drinking from now on, I think those memories will fade, although in future I'm sure they'll come up again. And the older they get, the more they notice, and they know certain things, like if I'm drinking Coke from a glass, it's not Coke, it's got alcohol in it, so they won't even touch it. And they'll say, what's in there? I'll say, it's just Coke. No, it's not, Dad. No, it's not. You never just drink Coke. And the other day, whilst we were in New Zealand, actually, I had to ring a doctor because Tate was she had an ear infection whilst we were away on holiday, and this was after another night of 25 standard drinks, and I was ringing the doctor on my phone. I never realized this even happening, but kids watch everything, especially when I'm on the phone talking to a doctor about her appointment. She's going to be listening, she's going to be watching, and she was. And I didn't know this until very recently. She said, why do you shake so much, especially that day that you were ringing the doctor trying to get me an appointment? Why you were shaking so much, Dad? And I know exactly why. So I'm taking this a lot more seriously. I'm giving myself more of just a break, just cutting myself some slack to get off this shit and do it safely and get that team, get a case manager that I can talk to regularly, and I haven't gone to AA, I'll admit that will come, I'm sure, but these first few days, thankfully I've got some time off work still, and I can just roll on and make it happen. That's the plan, guys. I'm super freaking hot in this car, but I thought it best I make somewhat of an update, and that's it. So day 1 is complete. It's always the hardest day. I got a little bit of chemical help, but that is going to be tapered off over the next few days, and after day 5 I assume they won't be prepared to prescribe me anymore, And as an addict, I'm going to be glad of that. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace, love, all the best. We're doing this again.